tomorrow show, 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 tomorrow show. Oh yeah. You got that singing. You're gonna sing that live, right? You gonna do that?
The Tomorrow Show.
Oh shit, that's probably good.
Woo! The Tomorrow Show.
That's awesome. Yes. Post it.
Woohoo!
Post it. Post that Instagram live. Get the people in here, right? Am I right?
Hello, welcome back.
What's up? Welcome back.
We're here.
I'm Mike V.
I'm Erin D.
I'm melting into the couch.
Yeah, we got a new couch at the Treehouse. That's new couch, Treehouse. You know what I'm saying?
AC high.
You want to get in there?
New couch at the Treehouse. What else? What else is new? We got a whole new season of episodes coming at you. Season 2.
2.
Yeah, like the peace sign. That's cool. We got our Mevo rocking. Mevo camera. What's up? We got all the cool graphics that Christina and Scott have been working on.
The border's cool. Look at that.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sky blue sky. Sky blue sky. Love it.
Good.
So what's been kind of happening for everybody in the summer break? Anything of note you want to share with our community?
Well, hold on.
You started a new show. We're going to talk a little more about that
Yeah.
later. Sign of the Times on the Hope for Us network with your host AC. I really enjoyed the stream on Friday. But you also got a new song out, man.
I did it.
You did it. You got a new single. Yeah, baby.
That's awesome.
I put out a new single. It's awesome. That sounds very Kanye of me, but no, I like
It's all
it.
right.
It's fun. It's called Happy to Be. It's streaming everywhere on all platforms.
Yeah.
If you had seen some of the last few episodes of raising the visibility.
Raising the visibility, baby.
The intro track for the show was actually the beat for the single "Happy to Be."
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, like when you were getting all those stunning graphics that Scott and Christina have been creating for these programs. Raising the Visibility Season 1 features music from none other than AC. And that was the instrumental that is now the single that's very much lyrical. So check that out on all streaming platforms. I think you could directly support AC on Bandcamp as well.
Yes,
I'm sure you got that Cash App or that Venmo too.
Yeah,
So.
go to if you just go to anything that's AC Loves Music, there will be a link in the bio, and it'll take you right to the Bandcamp, right to
That's awesome.
all the streaming whatnot. So enjoy it. To those of you that have streamed it, checked it out, thank you.
Yeah.
It blows my mind to see the numbers for a first release of a single for this one, and thank you to everybody that tuned in for the Sign of the Time show the other night. That was a lot of
dang.
fun. Thank you.
Check that out. You got your own Twitch thing. The exclamation AC will get you all that stuff.
That's so gangster.
If you're on Twitch right now watching, try it out and utilize this sweet technology. And man, I'm super excited. I'm gonna hop into this chat here too on Twitch here on my phone. Maybe I can do that, right?
Yep.
Oh no, I got booted out of my account. I'm not gonna log in right now mid-show. So, but you know, you can chat to Erin D and AC and of course the all-knowing network, which is kind of cool. It's cool to talk to robots like the network, helpful robots that know everything and can do anything.
It has a person behind it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's not really a robot.
There's a person. There's a person. I'm just a silly guy. Anyway, I had an old work email attached to my Twitch, so I gotta fix that and be back in that Twitch with a fresh email. You know what I'm saying? But this is us at the Treehouse, the Tomorrow Show. If you've never tuned in before, it is about celebrating all the things that get us to tomorrow. It's about taking this mental health conversation into areas that people maybe don't take it. We keep it very like in siloed conversations about diagnosis and symptoms and bullshit. And let's face it, there's a lot of other things holistically that we need to be doing to address mental health proactively. And that's by talking about how things that give us joy in life are very much protective factors in our mental health stories, because we all experience challenges. There's no doubt about it. We all experience stress, and our lives have drama even when we don't want it, and we've made all the right decisions, you know. So this is about giving hope to others. That's what the network's about. Proactive suicide prevention begins with proactive healthcare of all kinds. So let's be preventative. Let's talk about the real shit. Let's not wait till crisis and close that concealment gap. That's what the Hope for Us Network's all about. So, yeah. And welcome if this is your first time. If you're returning again and again, that's really great. Get your bits cheering. Get ready. It's going to be a really fun season 2 on Twitch.
Yeah, we have a stacked guest list.
What do we got going on today's show? Who's our guest?
We have Michelle Foik
We sure do.
From Eris Brewery and Cider House.
That's right. Eris Brewing is the chronic. It is so good. It is clean and crisp and refreshing and lovely. It doesn't make you feel all bloated. And and I think you just probably drink just about as many of those adult bevies as you could of any other kind, and they're delicious. So, but there's so much to say about Michelle. In short, award-winning brewery, award-winning cider, award-winning food, award-winning architecture, and repurposing of a historical landmark, an old Masonic temple. And we're going to hear from Michelle about the awesome stuff that Carl and her have been cooking up as far as live events to push this conversation into the community.
Events. Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about that before we get into the show proper. But what else we got coming up on the show? We got there's
some cool segments that you cooked up.
A whole bunch of cool segments. Searching for Goodness will be what we're going to do first, with a little throwback to our first episode ever as well.
Mm-hmm. We have a Nature is
Amazing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And that'll be kind of just like taking a look at the beauty surrounding us in our communities. Even if you're unaware of how beautiful it is, we'll probably draw some attention to that. There's a ton of shit happening this month with the Hope for Us Network. This fall, there is so many ways you could get involved, especially if you're in the Chicagoland area. And if you're not, there's always streams to be involved in, whether you're here or in another country. And there's always the rebroadcast stuff to engage with as well. If you can feel like a nice, cozy, warm hug and some very supportive, positive company. When's the next Hope Lounge? Does anybody know?
September 16th, right?
That's right. Friday, September 16th. And that's the day after your birthday, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. And what are you going to be doing on September 16th? You're not going to be on Hope Lounge. What are you going to be doing?
Partying.
You going to the show?
I'm partying.
This dude's going to do his usual Christmas, his usual birthday tradition, and go see live music and enjoy himself. He's going to be at Riot Fest. Lucky. And I think there's a Hope Lounge also on the 30th at the end of the month to close it out. If you don't know what Hope Lounge is, it's a more informal chat and like kicking it. Sometimes you watch some music videos. Sometimes there's some karaoke. Sometimes there's just, talking about the real shit. And, there's some games involved too, Jackbox games and whatnot. So if you want to be part of that community and be interacting there, it's really, really enjoyable, accessible, good time. So join one of the Hope Lounges. That's the 16th or the 30th of this month on Fridays. You got a concert experience coming up next Sunday. Stop the Insanity.
Stop the Insanity.
Yeah, so Stop the Insanity. A guy named Larry Phillips, really great guy. Has done a lot for normalizing mental health conversations in punk rock and metal scenes. He'll just gather a shitload of bands and speakers, and he'll usually have a guitar up for raffle and stuff like that to raise some funds for a good cause. And
that's at Livewire Lounge.
Livewire Lounge, yeah. So if you want some early in the day, go get your adrenaline pumping, go get your heart feeling warm with like community. Go get that. There's a walk. Mount Prospect is doing Mount Prospect Has Hope walk, 4:30 Central Standard Time, Mount Prospect Town Hall on the 21st of this month. It's a Wednesday again.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. Mount Prospect, shout out. It's awesome when a whole municipality gets behind having this conversation in a public way. So I'll do a round of applause for that. No shit.
Yeah.
Man, when's the next Sign of the Times? I really enjoyed your first show.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
September 23rd.
That's correct. September 23rd, Friday night with AC.
Friday. Yeah.
You do 9 o'clock, yeah?
Gonna do 9 o'clock.
You got another guest lineup?
I don't know yet.
Oh, surprise, surprise. Behind the door, a mystery.
I will say right now, there is no guest.
Oh, hey.
But
there may be.
There may be. A lot could happen in 2 weeks.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You know, I got the last guest 48 hours before the show.
No shit.
I took
who's your? It was Liz Skates Chicago, right?
Liz Hammond. She's at Liz Skates Chicago. She's a roller skater, 360 camera angles.
Cool.
I've been watching her for like a minute. Her videos are amazing. And you know, it's like I always like, you know, just run with the idea. You never know. Just
Just hit her up.
like, hey, you want to be? Yeah, let's do. Done.
Let's do it. That's
So
great.
you never know. Just saying, people. You'll never know unless you just try.
Give it a shot,
Give it
right?
a shot. You never know.
And so we're going to be able to give you all a taste of that show if you missed it in just a little while. But right now, why don't we get our guest out here, Michelle Foik from Eris Brewing and Cider House, so we can kind of talk about what's happening with the Bring On Tomorrow event and also Champions of Hope. What's up, Michelle? Welcome to the Tomorrow
everyone. How's it going?
Hi.
Let's all just like slow clap for Michelle Foik right here. Yes. Because Michelle is just a little faster. Yeah, feeling it. Like, oh man, I'm so pumped because Michelle, you inspired me before I knew you, and then getting to know you has been amazing, and then to see how genuine and like the authentic nature you bring to how you talk about mental health, how you talk about taking care of each other, how you talk about the importance of these little things is really, really amazing, and I enjoy it so much. So you're going to be a panelist at an event at Eris, like the most beautiful location you could imagine. The date has been rescheduled from the 19th to the 26th, correct?
Correct, it has. Yeah, we booked it too close on the 19th, and I think the 26th gives us a little bit more runway, and all the panelists are able to perform or just speak that night. So we're pretty excited.
That's amazing.
Yeah, awesome.
It's a double Michelle kind of night, too. You got Michelle Tompkins.
I saw that. I love it. I can't wait to meet these two women. I haven't had a chance to meet it. Working at Eris has just made me like all at Eris recently, ever since the pandemic. But that's one of my favorite things, is to be able to share stories with other ladies, men, women, whatever the case may be.
Hell
Cool.
yeah. You remember Michelle. You've met Michelle, I think, as well. I've known Michelle since. So Michelle Tompkins is the founder of a nonprofit called the Corner Store of Chicago, and does really cool stuff as far as bringing the conversation into youth spaces in an authentic way and a healing way. So you'll get to meet Michelle, and you guys will totally totally be all about each other. And then I think you all have we got Janine.
I think it's Janine. Yeah.
We got Janine Wise, who is another
They're super
person that
awesome.
I've just been so lucky to get to know and look up to and learn from. So that's going to be a killer panel. And on the 26th, that means I definitely can go. The 19th, I was like trying to juggle some stuff. I was like, oh man, I got to go. But this is like, all right, 26th, I'm there.
Yeah, we're super excited to be able to move it. We've even, I think we might even have like a food truck that night too, on top of all this stuff. So like we're looking at having a lot of fun, bringing in a lot of people. One of the things that I'm really happy with this time around is that, not just only do you get to have part of the Eris experience, but you're also going to be able to like talk and meet people from Seedlip, which is a non-alcoholic cocktail company.
Right.
And then we also brought in Athletic Brewing Company. So super excited with Athletic, especially because they are now sponsoring John Moxley. So I'm tying this all back into wrestling. So
Hell yeah.
it was pretty cool to see. When telling everybody about someone sponsor me. Athletic Brewing Company, I love your IPA. Like I will talk all about it. And I'm like texting my friends. I'm like, oh my God, you guys got to jump on this right now. My husband got me on the one of his podcasts with his wife. And so I was listening to that. And then he's like, you should just get a hold of your friend at the NA place. I'm like, yes, definitely going to do that now. So I like to pretend it was because of me, but it's got nothing to do with me.
Well, what's so cool is how that also just kind of ties it all together, because the Bring On Tomorrow event's going to be special because it's going to be a bunch of very like empowering females that are like really bringing this conversation, non-male figures, which is like important in general, and other communities kind of just coming together. And we got a similar thing happening at the end of October as well with the wrestling show Champions of Hope, where there will be a bunch of NA options as well, which I love, like your consciousness and your actually like being about it in the industry that you are a part of, really like not just kind of talking about it in platitudes, but like doing real things to transform what it means to kind of like go sit at the bar,
Yep.
That's meaningful. So
I feel like, like looking back at even some of my mental illness, a lot of it mental illness and alcohol. You do the two things together, and you sometimes go into a bigger hole in your life because of it. So when we realized like this year that dry January, whether it is for mental health or whether it's for physical health and all that kind of jazz, people are doing it, and people were really following this year. I think COVID brought out a lot more of drinkers and more people that had time to drink. And I think January this year, watching the amount of sales we did in non-alcoholic during that month, and people really followed through on that. I was really impressed with human beings in general to be able to take that time off and to kind of relocate where their heads were, and to see it in my staff and to see it in physical awareness, mental awareness is really great. And I just felt like, okay, then we need to get a bigger NA menu, because people are looking to still socialize, be with people, but not feel left out. And so for us, I mean, it's a no-brainer. And when we had this program coming up on the 26th, I'm like, well, I don't want to exclude anybody because they're coming to a bar. So It's a restaurant and everything else involved in it. But you know what? You get a free ticket to get, or you get a ticket to have a drink with us. Why not have something for everyone? Non-alcoholic beer, non-alcoholic drinks, and then also for those that can actually handle it and want to be in that realm, they could have an alcoholic drink themselves.
Yeah, that's pretty great. It's inclusive as hell, and it's just super important. And we're going to talk tons more about that. But the Champions of Hope wrestling show incorporates like two of your big passions, and I think that's really special. And I know that for Carl, it incorporates two very big passions. But for the community, what it means, I feel like, is you're going to see a bunch of really like big, tough athletes that wrestle, being vulnerable and telling people that, this is important for health. And I mean, that's a slam dunk. Or a body slam, I guess.
Right.
I agree. I love the fact that you have wrestlers that are out there that are just straight edge too, but they act one way or they do something else is the way that they exert their energy and everything on that end. But you would think, oh my God, these guys are all tattooed, and you get that stereotype, and I'm sure they drink and all this kind of jazz. Guess what? They are straight edge. They have been straight edge for a long time. I mean, kudos to that. So I'm really excited for the rest of the world to realize that a lot more people are taking their mental health very, very seriously, and also being able to be on the right program to be able to accomplish what they want to do in their life.
All right. Yeah. I mean, like, so we'll talk a little more in depth about both of those events and a little bit just more about Michelle in general later in the show. We are lucky to have Michelle here to like kind of hang out with us and interact with the segments that we've created for our premiere, our season 2 premiere. But before we do our first segment, Searching for Goodness, I want to do a real quick rapid fire. Favorite wrestler. It doesn't matter if like you only know Hulk Hogan. Okay, rapid fire. Favorite wrestler.
It's not fair.
Go ahead. First thing, bubbles up.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, Badass Billy Gunn, Road Dogg.
Oh damn. You want me to go? You just think a little bit more while I'm going.
I mean,
or you go
Mark
first.
Marrow.
I like literally don't.
You don't know any?
Well,
I gave you a freebie.
Wait, does Xena, Warrior Princess, count?
She does not count as a wrestler, I don't think. But I'm going to defer to Michelle.
Name?
Do you know if Xena counts as a wrestler?
God, I don't think she's a wrestler. I would have to ask my husband on this one. I don't think she
made a cameo.
Running up. Like, I would say that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I mean, she's kicking ass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh man.
Damn it.
I would go with Ultimate Warrior. Like this is when I watched wrestling. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Sting. It was real WWE. It was actually WWF before they were like forced to switch to WWE. And I had little figures,
Lita.
Oh boy,
Gold Dust.
And then I got back into it for a short time when WCW Nitro. You remember Nitro?
Yeah, Nitro sucked.
Well, all right, whatever. There was like an NWO thing that like I found entertaining. Wolfpack.
Yeah.
And then there was Goldberg. You know who Goldberg was? He would like spear people. He was just like this old football player that like just wore like the little tiny Speedo style. He had one move, I know.
That's all he could do.
You wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that.
He couldn't clothesline you. He couldn't body slam you. He had no submission holds. All he could do was spear you. He would walk around the ring.
And just get you.
And then at one point, he just gets you.
I want to know what Michelle's favorite wrestlers are.
Oh my God, what area you want me to start in?
Yeah, I know it's like a broad thing. So like, I don't know if you like just like have like your favorite wrestler and just tell us what like kind of area that they come from.
I mean, going back to when I used to watch it with my father, that's WWE. So like, I mean, that was Jake the Snake Roberts, who is still alive,
Nice.
and
Jake
did a little
Snake.
coaching on AEW.
Yeah.
I met the Iron Sheik when I worked at TGI Fridays.
No way.
I have a true picture with him, and he was hilarious because for the picture, he needed us to open up the restaurant and make him a sandwich because he just got off the plane and we were closed. So that was really fun. Now in AEW, I mean, when you guys talk about Sting and you talk about Billy Gunn, they're on AEW now. Like they are wrestling on AEW. So
Badass Billy Gunn.
Moxley is still one of my favorites. Tony Storm, Thunder Rosa. When we start talking about the ladies,
he just perked up. Billy Gunn is in AEW now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So his sons wrestle, and he came in being their like quote unquote coach.
Come on.
No, but get this. He switched sides because his kids were so like, they're just not great. I mean, he doesn't want to be with losers, he says. So he ditched his kids to go with the Acclaim, which is just hilarious because there's these two guys. One raps on the microphone and the other one is just like, hello, Chicago, you know, like awesome. And they do this horrible
Hype
thing
as
I
can
hate.
be.
I hate this so much, and my husband tries to get me to do this. And if he shows up in this room trying to scissor me, because that's what dude, scissor me, daddy. That's the thing. Scissor me, dad. And it makes me go, no, I can't do this. But they do it. And people go to shows, they have their signs up and all this jazz. So yes, Billy Gunn is now with the Acclaim. There's a shirt that says, scissor me, daddy. Scissor me, daddy ass. There's my husband. He's like, daddy ass. Don't forget daddy ass. Because now the kids are called ass boys.
Oh my God.
The Billy Gunn's kids are called ass boys.
See,
And it chants up the arena.
And it's funny because back in the day, Billy Gunn's thing, you know, he was Mr. Ass.
Right.
Still has, but for real. If I look around somewhere, I have his old wrestling shirt.
It's in this.
And
oh my Lord, you do?
Big lips on the front of the shirt, and on the lips it says Mr. Ass.
That is
Wow.
hysterical, dude.
I love this.
Oh my God. Yes.
So,
We
here
just
go,
did a little
history.
spontaneous searching for goodness with that wrestling rapid fire, and we found it. Oh boy, did we find
Everybody
it.
perks up. Everyone wants to like talk all about it.
Oh man, that's so fun. Oh wait. What
was that?
What just happened? Oh man.
John Cena.
We're gonna just get flashes of wrestler reels for the rest of the program. It's
That would be hilarious.
it's happening. It's all happening. Network's glitching out. Champions. Oh man. All right. So, are you guys excited to see what I made us?
Yes.
I made us a segment.
Let's party.
This is the first installment of Searching for Goodness.
I told you that's the shirt. The one in the middle with the.
Oh, my Lord.
That is classic.
I have that shirt somewhere.
Network found it,
That
of
was
course. Scott, you're
shirt.
the man.
Mr. Somewhere I have that shirt.
Did you see it? Did you see the
He
Mr.
saw
Ash
it.
shirt?
I would show the.
Can we bring that Mr. Ash shirt back up?
Back up.
We gotta see
Again.
that one more time. Yeah. There it is.
Yep.
Oh boy,
Good old Mr. Ass.
that is
I got
something
you.
to behold.
I told you.
Truly.
Somewhere I have that shirt.
That's awesome. Robin
All
keeps threatening me that he's going to buy me that Scissor Me Daddy shirt. I'm like, no, please don't do it.
and
If
I
you
think,
find that one, I'd put that one up too. That's pretty funny.
yeah, I think if you had to choose, maybe the Mr. Ash shirt is the one.
I would totally go Mr. Ash shirt. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we got this really cool new stuff too for all of our segments. Thanks to Scott. So Scott, hit it with the Searching for Goodness, please. Oh, that's good, dude. That's real good. You done good, Scott. You're done good. So this is going to be a segment that kind of throws back to our first episode ever on September 5th, 2021. We had a guest who was at that time predominantly known for his art and his murals, Myron Laban, and he has gone on to release some music produced with this guy named Maze, also here on the south side of Chicago. They're making cool shit, and now he's doing like these immersive art experiences. So we're going to give you a taste of the first one he did, the Loverboy experience at Comfort Station in the heart of Logan Square, which is a multidisciplinary art space here in our neighborhood. So I hope you enjoy. Let's sit back and enjoy, guys.
I know you've been drowning for way too long. Late night cravings feel way too strong. If you wanna go, baby, that's okay. But I can't stay forever. Better pick up the pace. Lover boy always wants what we can't have. We try honestly, they can last time. I'm always stuck in emotions. But I'd rather leave in the ocean. I know you've been hurt. I know that's how it feels. You just been out in your heart. Just been trying to heal. Yeah. Lover boy, yeah. Girl, I'm stuck on you. Lover boy, yeah. I know you feel me too.
Freaking juicy. You can touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. Awesome.
Nice.
Damn.
Awesome.
That's Myron.
That's Myron.
That's our boy Myron.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, a full year. We can all pat ourselves on the back for making this making it a year together. It's a relationship.
Yeah. So he rolled that piano out there.
He rolled that piano out there for a comfort station thing that he did for Loverboy, and yeah, have you ever seen any of Myron's artwork? He does the uplift thing where it's the guy carrying another form on his shoulders, and stuff's everywhere. Lots of big buildings and stuff like that.
I was just looking around if we had any out here right now, but we don't.
We have like a different painting of his over there, but
yeah.
Really great artist if you're not familiar, Michelle. And he's also a pharmacist. I believe his dad's Egyptian. He's got just like this really beautiful, calming effect too. He's just like a real chill dude. But yeah, his music's really really pretty but kind of like shakes your butt too a little bit. So that's always fun.
I've seen his stuff. I've seen some of his stuff around the city, but I didn't know he made music too. So
yeah, just started. And Maze, right?
Yeah, Maze, we got to meet at that event. And I also got to meet one of my favorite like street artists too, just randomly. This guy, Oscar Hoyo, or maybe pronounces it Joyo. I'm not actually sure, but it's super vibrant, really like Afro-futuristic kind of
He was really nice
stuff. And he was super nice too.
But yeah, Maze was like kind of...
He's the producer. He's super talented.
Myron's music, and it's really a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
They said.
Yeah, they're on all those platforms, and you'll find it under Myron Laban, but you'll see also the credit for Maze, who has a bunch of other music out there. So I think what's kind of exceptional about that particular guy and his output is that he's very conscious of the fact that he could do something positive for his community as a result of his output. Like he's got a new mural down in Inglewood that hopefully later when we're down there for this other event supporting Janine, we'll be able to drive by it because it's fresh and like he just really truly believes in beautifying the space around you. But I think it's good to underline the fact that there's protective factors in creating the art yourself, like as he's likely found in his own expression, but also that like having art around you can have a positive effect, like and be protective in nature. It's like something affirming, like something positive and like makes you smile is not just to be like kind of discarded with no value. Those things are like we should cherish those moments that something caught your eye out in the environment, maybe in your city, maybe in a bathroom, maybe on a train, and it made you smile or made you think that like somebody gives a shit, even if it's just this artist.
Right.
And then to cross it with the music, and for him to eventually get there to the music part, music's like that too. It's some of the best kind of magic, art in general, but like music and art coming together in this convergence, I think it's pretty special.
Special. I love you for it.
Thanks, man. That's very kind of you to say. But I'm just excited for him. And hey, Scott, if you've got that other like clip of the immersive experience he's doing for the full EP, I sent you. It gives you just a little idea of what is going on right now at Chicago Beyond, because he's continuing to do these special experiences where it's just he's got headphones like silent disco. You guys ever been to a silent disco?
I've never been to one, but I know what they are.
Michelle's nodding.
Yes.
Yeah, these like headphones with like different color like light on the ear. So you can like kind of tell who's listening to what DJ. In this case, I think he used the switches for his art pieces that went with the individual songs from the EP, which, so like if you go to his stories on Instagram, you can see, there you go. You can see that he had a piece at the Bulls art show. So my boy's doing huge things. Oh, I got to plug in my computer. Rookie move. It's in my backpack. But yeah, you can see Myron takes us on a little walking tour here. He's got his pieces up, those hearts with the kind of like 3-dimension. I saw him making those with paper mache, which is super cute. You guys ever made anything with paper mache?
Yeah.
Paper mache? Oh, it's the best.
It's been a while.
Other side, honey. Yeah.
I was a little kid when I used to do that. That was fun though. Hey, Mike, can you tell me the Instagram handle again?
Yeah, it's Myron Laban, MYRON LABAN.
Got it.
But yeah, it's just cool. He's got people just sitting there, super focused on his art, being very deliberate and cultivating the sonic space and the sounds that you're hearing while you're looking at it. It's pretty neat. I was kind of bummed that when he announced it that we had the stream kind of simultaneously. So here's a little taste of his music in the background there. Sorry about the volumes all over the place. What's up? It's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
I like that. If you can't read it, it says your presence fills the room. Yeah. So I could see him doing a big ass mural of that one of these days. And if you've never been to a silent disco either, those headphones reminded me of what a cool experience that can be. Like basically you look at a dance floor and you can see these little pockets of color, people dancing to the same shit. And then like a group of people dancing to something completely different. it's quite the sight. But as you can
It's
see,
so
Chicago
surreal.
Beyond, yeah, it is
It's
surreal.
so
That's
surreal when you're there, because if you don't have the headphones on, you're just seeing people groove to different
it's
songs, and everyone's moving a different way because it's a different song. Like,
yeah,
it's
it's
just
pretty
cool 'cause
wild.
everything's so silent, and then you're just watching, and I'm like, okay, until you put those headphones on, you're like, now I get it. Oh my Lord. I liked being that silent person in the background watching this, because I'm just like, they're hopping up and down. This one's like swaying. I'm like, what is up? But it was so quiet. Like, your brain, it's like the first time you ever go scuba diving. Your brain's
Yeah.
telling you cannot breathe underwater. Here, I'm watching a dance floor and I can't hear anything, but everyone's having this amazing time. So cool. I wanted to host one at Eris.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I watched
make it
this
happen. We'll make it
mystery show, and there was like these teens that had a party out in the middle of the forest, and they were like, how did nobody know they were here? And it's because they were all using headphones to party.
Yep.
And I was like, that's brilliant.
That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. I think the coolest part about it, because you brought this like rushing back to me as you were talking about how surreal it is. Because I also was one of the people that was my first time at one. I didn't really know how it worked, and I was also working the event. And I just was walking through these crowds like you described, but the sound of people's feet shuffling on the ground was like music itself. It was like, like that's all you could hear, and you could hear like little noises that people were making with their mouths or whatever, But it was so weird. You're like, what? Like, should I put the headphones on, or is this like actually the experience?
Yeah, and I like the idea of like having art that, yeah, you're totally catering their experience with music. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's one thing to have that idea.
Like there's a lot of possibilities there.
Yeah, it's one thing to have that idea. It's entirely different to execute it and make it happen, and have Chicago Beyond, who's a great organization that lifts up a lot of different creators, like to execute it in that type of space. It's pretty damn cool, and very proud of him. Good job, Myron. Check him out, and you'll be seeing him a bunch. He'll probably come back to the Treehouse at some point, hang out, maybe teach us to paint something. Okay. That'd be cool, right? And maybe Silent Disco is coming your way from your friends Eris. I'll stay tuned.
This way we can keep everybody outside after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silent Disco on the patio. People driving by on Irving Park Road be like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
What's aliens dancing under a tent? That's great.
And his name is John C.
Perfect.
That was good. That was good.
Startled me.
A great timing.
It almost seemed like too perfect to fit.
Right?
It was good. I'm telling you, this kid's good.
The Rock?
He's sharp. He's sharp.
Rock?
The Rock.
He's
You
a
like The Rock.
wrestler, yep.
Yeah.
The Rock's great. The Rock.
He is.
The Rock is America's Rock.
I think I choose the
Even
Rock,
though he's
I guess.
what, Samoan or
He's
something?
he's the people's champion.
Oh, he's great. He's got the eyebrow. I can do that. I can do the
really,
eyebrow.
He's the people's champion.
The Rock.
That's what he's.
That's what he's.
It's like his
That when he was wrestling. Yeah.
tagline.
He's the people's champion.
Now he's so much more.
Now
What?
he's like Kevin Hart's best friend.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So weird.
He's got that new
the
show
hype-
out.
The hype
He's
is
got that new show out where he's like going to become president of the United States in 20. I don't remember the year. I don't know if
I
he's
actually I saw that. I was like, we could do worse.
We have.
We have done
We
worse.
have done worse. Yes.
We have done worse. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Nailed it.
He brings back all the old wrestlers because Rock's real father was a wrestler back then.
Ah, hell yeah.
It's a cute show. It's cute. It puts a little like my husband likes it. I like it. Puts a little background on some things, but it's a cute show.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
He's also, according to Carl, his Twitter is just delightful for the most part. Really, just trying to not be a piece of shit like so many people that get successful and rich unfortunately. Dude seems like he's got a real big heart. So, and he has a friend who's a very small heart. But can I get a rim shot? No, no. He's physically small.
Okay.
Kevin Hart.
We get it. We got
You
it.
get it.
We got it.
Got it.
Oh my lord.
What about the next segment?
Yeah.
What about that next segment? What do you got? What's it called? You want to tell Scott to cue the? You do it.
Nature's amazing, and so are you.
Let's do it. Excellent font. You like that font?
I love that font.
What's this? what can we expect out of this next segment? I mean, we kind of covered art and music as like powerful self-expression for like supporting your everyday mental health.
Like, what is Nature's Amazing about in general?
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that makes me most happy is just nature stuff. So like, I love to look at pictures of animals that I don't know, and I love to learn about ecosystems, and I love gardening, and
bats.
I love bats. I love learning about that stuff a lot. And like yesterday, a couple of my coworkers were kind of down, and I was like, "Look at this pink iguana! It's on the Galapagos. It's smiling in the sunshine." And they were like, "Oh!" Like it always works,
Yeah.
Pink
So
iguana?
Pink iguana.
they have pink iguanas.
That's crazy.
Galapagos wild shit.
So that's helpful, and nature's shown to really help people's mental health.
Tons of research about just the effects of taking a walk in some old growth forests, or just being unplugged from all this technology and stuff like that. What's this particular premiere segment, our first installment?
Some kind of flower.
Okay, we got some flowers. It's also, I think it's a celebration of our neighborhood and the neighborhoods like it.
I think we should show it.
Let's just show it.
Yeah.
Nature is amazing, and so are you.
They're so beautiful. Oh my, they are very tall. How tall would you say these are? This one's like all the way up to the top of the sky.
Look at this one.
This one too, over here. Oh my gosh, these are even taller. I gotta step back to get you all in the frame. Wow. Hey, Minnie. Hi, Minnie. Oh my goodness. They're like twice as tall as you. Oh my gosh. How tall would you say this is?
I think they're 10 feet.
I'd say you're about right.
Oh, look.
Holy shit.
Look at that one. That one has the seeds coming out of it, and they're
Oh, yeah.
collected on the leaf.
Yeah, how about that?
That's kind of cool. And the
Little guy
leaves
in
are
there.
on 'em.
Yeah. And then there's one that's going to be even taller. There's like some buds that are even like
Way
higher
up.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This neighbor has a great little flower garden.
They sure do. Should we appreciate some of their other flowers?
Yeah.
See that little tray of seeds right there that you was talking about? That's amazing. You might be able to see that little bee in there. And we realize that we are partial to the sunflowers. You sniffing? you know what kind of flowers these are? Are these
Petunias?
begonias or petunias?
I think they're petunias.
And there's a different kind of petunia then. Okay, and then what by your feet?
I think those are California poppies. I
Yeah,
love them.
they're
They're
so
my
pretty.
favorite. And then look, they have a little cacti. It's gotten bigger.
Oh, buddy.
And they have lilies back there.
Oh boy, yeah, they do.
And hydrangeas.
Oh my! Speaking of sunflower seeds, we had a very cool thing happen where we got a little sunflower patch that burst up out of our under our deck. As you can see, this fresh guy is gonna start popping one petal at a time, I guess. And this one's like kind of on its way out. And then there's several others that are dumping their seeds. So maybe we'll get more. I don't know. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Not quite ready to open all the way. Yeah. Still tucked in. Just a bit. Here's another one. It's like winking. It's barely winking open. Just barely waking up. See you in a few days. Little blossom you. Oh, yours goes up tight. I see your insides, man. I see them peeking through. Just a little crack of sunlight in there. Ooh, look at that. Wait. I want to look at it a little more closely. Whoa. Stop moving it. I'm zoomed way in. Whoa.
On it.
Oh, hey, buddy. Wow, that's a bonus.
So,
What's he doing? He's a pollinator too, I guess.
yeah, so this is empty because it's either fallen out or the birds have pecked them out.
Okay.
But these dry up and fall off.
Here, hold that up again.
These
And
dry up and
hold it
fall
like
off.
still so I can get focused on that. That little tiny guy. Oh my God, those dry and fall off.
And then the seeds are black under there.
Oh yeah.
So I can maybe pull one out. Goodbye, little moth.
Oh shit! Hold that still. Oh my God.
And
it's all fuzzy.
I don't think that these are edible sunflower seeds, but I don't know.
So what are we doing here?
We're trimming the heads that have seeds and putting them in a bag.
Okay.
And then we'll dry them out and shake the seeds out, and we can
Plant more sunflowers, right?
plant more, spread them around.
Can you tell me about this bush at all of sunflowers? Where the fuck did this come from?
We don't know.
It started as like just a couple, right?
Last year, a big fat bee buzzed by me.
I see him.
Yeah, so last year we had just one little stalk with a few on it. And then it came back this year with multiple ones. There's more under the deck. And it just came back with a vengeance.
Sure is. Yeah, they're wild and they're like all over the neighborhood now too.
Yeah, there's ones down the block from us.
The bees love them. And they don't bother you at all because they're too busy doing their nature thing.
So
Look at all the pollen on this guy's legs, man. Shit.
I think Mike did a pretty good job of trimming these all. Oh, and it was falling over, so we tied some twine around it.
That's true. It was falling over. It was just too beefy. Well, I like these little guys when they're like just starting to wake up. Check him out. Yeah, he's like still kind of asleep. Yeah, he's cute. And then, yeah, you can see all the stages basically on this plant. Like, cause this one's got them like pointing out really nice. Like this guy freshly opened probably a few days ago. This guy over here is a little bit on the larger side. Wow, look at that. So wonderful. And then you got another bud that's like, hey, look at me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna open up a few days.
Babe, over here. I don't know what these guys. Oh.
Sorry, did I miss them?
Come here. Come down here. I don't know what this guy's doing, but there were just two next to it.
What is that?
I think it's a bee. I don't know.
That's a bee?
I don't know what he's doing.
He's like humping.
Yeah.
That's a bee?
There were two of them next to it that were doing this. There they. Oh, hi, bud. Yeah, see?
Oh, are they hanging out with each other? Is it like a male-female situation?
No, they don't do that.
Okay.
I don't know what it was doing.
Is the yellow stuff on him just all pollen collected in his sacks?
Yeah, his little leg sacks are all full of it.
Leg sacks. Those are like pockets on leggings, right?
He's gonna go take it home.
Damn. That's wild.
I don't know what that bee was doing.
That didn't look like a bee. It had weird like antennae.
It was a bee.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. Well, there's not a bee up here. Is this the one that was down there? He's got big long antenna.
It might be a different. It might. Oh. Yeah, they might be either male or female instead.
Yeah, these are smaller.
Yeah.
It's like a different kind of bee.
Maybe it's a different type of bee. Yeah.
Wow, so fucking cool, and they like it. They could care less about us because they got sweet, horny flowers. What in the hell are these? Right? I forget what these are called, but I'll look at the thing in a sec. This is how the flower buds begin, and as you travel upward, you see they start to evolve into these really crazy things.
Those were planted last year. They're pollinator friendly. The pollinators love them, so they're like a good.
Yeah, we saw some bees up in them, like sleeping in the furriness.
What do you call them?
Are they like fire, blazing star fire flowers? They're amazing.
Prairie blazing star.
Prairie blazing star. Pull that up.
Iconostophia.
Oh yeah. This little guy's got flowers too. Oh, they're pretty. Yeah. What an awesome plant. Good job, dinosaur. You're making it flower with your sick ass tunes. Yeah, see? Playing horn. Good job. Okay. There's a snapdragon. Do you know any facts about these snapdragons? They're cute though. They got different little opening mouths.
Let's do the one over here that's not. Wow. Are any of these cuter because they don't have a pool in the background? Hello. Hi, Eris.
Open it up nice and wide. Let's look inside. Holy. You got a hairy tongue, bro.
I am also.
Bro, see it? He's different. Oh, man. You got like more teeth. You're funny. Whoa. Those are so wild. Look at the dead part of the stalk over here.
I know.
They look like some sci-fi shit. Right? Yeah, like the husk of where the bloom was with the little... Still got the little curly guy coming out, though. Look at him. What are you doing? Pardon our construction stuff in the back. It's not us. Oh, man, look at you. Let's get in there. Let's get in your mouth. Oh, damn, that's crazy. Do you think the pollinators, like the bees and stuff, like they just stick their little proboscis in there, or they're able to open that sucker up?
They might be able to get in there.
Maybe they just like kind of inch their way in.
Yeah.
Do you think any bees are like, oh damn, I'm stuck?
Maybe.
All right. A swallowtail?
Look it up.
You think this is goldenrod? It's a suitable name for it. Fly away, fly away. Oh, you're coming back? We saw this little tiny baby in the echinacea. Oh yeah, there he is.
Did you see it?
Yeah, he stopped for a second. Is that would be a moth probably?
No, I think it's a butterfly because it's blue.
Oh man, it's really hard to see though.
It's really fast.
Flipping around.
It's like
Little
purple.
tiny guy. And this is echinacea, a
Yeah.
coneflower.
And it's very butterfly friendly.
Very butterfly friendly. And
I
he
don't know.
found little tiny flowers this size down there in the ground cover. Might not be able to see him. He just looks like a piece of greenery now. There he goes. There he goes. Flitter, 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 butterfly. Fatty old baby. Oh yeah. It's a little baby eggplant. Yeah, but the prettiest purple fruits and flowers, y'all. Look at that shit. Oh yeah. Boy, oh my goodness.
I thought that was awesome.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
All those flowers you showed us.
You
Ugh,
showed too.
that was fantastic.
There was a lot of flowers.
What was your favorite flower?
The small, it looks like pinkish red.
The snapdragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the black middle thing.
Oh, the echinacea.
Oh, the echinacea.
Yeah, those are cool.
Did you have a favorite flower in the collection?
Yeah, that snapdragon. I didn't know you could do that with it. I've
Yeah,
seen
my
those,
mom-
but I've never. What's that?
My mom taught me that when I was a kid.
I didn't know you could do that. I was so shocked when you guys were like hitting something behind. I'm like, oh my lord, because I've seen those all over and I've never done that.
Yeah.
I learned something today, and the 3 different bees. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It makes me giggle so much, the snapdragon thing. Like if like you just make voices for it, I don't know. Like, you know, like a
I love
old
it.
man voice or even just a little elfin voice. I don't know, any voice really. But yeah, I enjoyed the snapdragon.
Yeah, and there's like at the end of the video, you included those mammoth sunflowers.
Yeah, those
They're
popped
like-
up.
They're like this. They're like this big.
Yeah, they're literally like a basketball,
They're
like
your
in the
head.
center.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Crazy.
And well, the craziest thing about all these sunflowers is I don't think anybody plants them. They're just like there, like they just popped up all over the neighborhood this year.
Yeah, I mean,
Like some-
we
like
had one
some-
last year under our deck, and this
Yeah.
year we had like 15. So,
So
that's
like,
like
some people plant. Sometimes
neighborhood.
you can tell that somebody has planted them there, but other times it's like just randomly by someone's fence, and it's like huge, you know.
it's crazy the strength that those stalks are able to like hold up this big ass flower,
like-
and
The mammoth ones are like 12 feet tall. Like
yeah,
way,
They're
yeah,
huge.
it's really cool.
was
I wonder
we're
if, like last year, someone had a
Yeah.
basket full of sunflower seeds and just decided they're gonna like.
Yeah.
Well,
Make
Johnny
a really
Appleseed.
cute comic book, strip about that, like on your block. And then 2 years 1, all these like up, and then year 5, sunflowers everywhere.
Totally.
Johnny Appleseed for sure.
Yeah, or what bird was it that was planting them all over the block?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a cool ass bird.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think you can make that into any kind of bird we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, the snapdragons I feel like could be a whole, like we could check in with the snapdragons each week and just like pre-record like it's saying something positive.
Yeah.
That would be
Bah, bah,
fun.
bah, bah, bah. And then that was our snapdragon of the week.
Like that.
Scott asked how the snapdragons smell. They smell.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
That was the greatest setup ever. Oh my lord. That was good.
Dude, I totally you set it up. I fell for it. I bit. You just caught yourself a bass, brother.
He pitched it, you swung, and it hit a home run.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
So
But
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to form the question, I guess, but certain people in your life have given you a hard time about your love of flowers.
yeah, well, that's like a like not machismo, but like old traditional mindset of men and like flowers. That's like girly or feminine. It's like it's a relic of like the 90s when dudes like that are pretty much my age can recall a time where they used like really terrible choices of language to tease each other, like the F slur, and like it's just I think it's partly that. When I went to England, I like took like hundreds of pictures in the Rose Garden by Buckingham Palace, and my dad teased me so hard about it, and I was just like, lighten up, dude. Maybe maybe some flowers would brighten your life.
Yeah.
And actually, he planted flowers over the last couple of years.
They love
There's
flowers.
been growth there. That was like
Yeah.
12 years ago. So, but I think that's
I just think it's
that
funny.
a little bit. But that's really cool that you asked that though, because it kind of draws back the focus to why did we do that segment? We walk around our neighborhoods all the time and ignore things that might be beautiful to us or might bring a smile to our face, or they might like get us out of our head if we're like kind of I don't know if you're like me and you get some thoughts just like chasing their tail in your head, and you're distressed, but you're keeping it together on the outside, and just never undervalue or underestimate simple things. Since our healthcare scape is a hellscape, there's these little things that do give us power, and power helps fight those fear moments of like, shit, I can't do this. So being able to just utilize what's around you. Your neighbors have things growing. Your parkways, like just random ass weeds that are left unattended that turn into a beautiful thistle flower, or ground cover that's not maintained at all, but there's like little tiny baby flowers in it, or just the wildlife, like
that
pollinators.
kind of like focusing on something, like especially if you're having like ruminating thoughts. If you're, like there's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Which is like a big coping skill that people talk about a lot now, where it's like
5 things you can see,
4
things you can hear,
yeah,
3 things you can smell, or like
I always forget
touch,
the order, to be honest.
Smell, kind of work it back and tap into individual senses. That's
so
a great
so
tool.
If you're like, right, so the focusing on something else really helps me personally, if I'm like stuck in that. And Minnie makes us go walker. We have to walk the dog.
The walk itself is healthy.
Too.
The walk itself is healthy.
So that gets
fresh
me
air is
out of
healthy.
the house when it's hard. So that's a big one. But yeah. So
we were supposed to do that this morning. My husband and I were going to go walk to Hex Coffee and just do the walk all the way from Logan Square to Hex. And then it rained, and then I got called into work. So on my way back, there was this like spot right on Logan. And I'm like, screw it. I'm going to get some coffee at the farmer's market. I had my rain jacket in the car. I threw that on, and I'm walking in the middle of Logan, in the boulevard. Rain is pouring down. I'm just walking, and I'll tell you, I felt like a little kid. I just wanted to like put on my water pedal, boots and go stomp in some big puddles. And like, that never happens, but every once in a while, my brain just says, make it positive. Like the day's gloomy and it's raining and the farmer market looks bleak, but it was just fun. I walked out of the car, I stomped in a bunch of puddles, and I bought some food from some farmer market people, and I came back home, and I'm like, my husband's like, you're all wet. I'm like, yep. And it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something about nature too that like does bring out the child in me. So I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one, the primordial living off the land, being in balance with nature. Got all corrupted over time by industrialization or capitalism or insert shitty human thing.
We have somebody on the block over that there's someone with grapes, but then there's somebody who has hops all over their fence.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to watch grow.
It's just like, I don't think they even tend them. They're just there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that's the key too, is like it's a touchstone for us in our neighborhood to walk a similar kind of route with our dog. You have a similar route you walk your dog on. And then like you could watch this thing that's a little bud turn into a flower, and then like, the seeds end up falling out after its like life cycle has played through. Or you can just, kind of see it in its thriving mode where it's got all the bees coming to hang out, because that's like the place to be. Wordplay. I love wordplay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't get enough of that stuff, and I can't underline it more that like gratitude can feel like a platitude, but if you take a walk and you just pay attention to the small things, the littlest things, and try to extract some joy out of those, it can really like improve your overall outlook on things if you're struggling. And if nothing else, it's worth a try. Like you could still come back from that walk and be like, fuck it, man, a really negative headspace, okay. But you tried, and that's worth something. And maybe today's a day you chill on the couch and you try and cheer up with a funny movie or something like that. But
or you don't.
Or you don't. You sit in the shittiness.
That's a thing.
Yeah. You sit in that sadness and you just ride it out and know that tomorrow's going to be better. That's what this show's all about. So, yeah. Anything else that jumped out for any of you on that nature experience? Flowers.
They're great.
You can buy a small bouquet, and make somebody's day as well. That's not nothing. So as a dude, I've gotten flowers a few times as like someone presenting them to me rather than me giving them to someone. And
my boss said that his
nice.
wife gave him flowers once, and it brought tears to his eyes. He
It's
loves
really nice.
flowers, and
Or
he
a
was
plant.
like,
Yeah.
I was given flowers.
And there's an artistry to flower arranging too that maybe that's something that you find passion in, and then that's your painting, or that's your music making, or that's your cider brewing, So do you work with a lot of the actual ingredient? That's I just like random non sequitur, but when you're making a cider and you want some certain notes and stuff, do you ever like do floral kind of incorporation?
Yeah, we have worked with more like teas and flowers. So we've worked with chamomile.
Nice.
We have worked with a lot of herbs. So basil and fresh mint.
Oh yeah.
Talk about the hops. We use hops. What else? We used what's the one called? Butterfly pea, butterfly pea.
The one, yeah, you got it.
The one that turns from it turns blue if you add acid to it.
Whoa,
That's crazy.
Yeah, and
That's
I'm sorry
cool.
I can't remember what it was, but we made a cider out of that, and we also made a kids drink out of that because the kids then had a non-alcoholic drink. We added some silver syrup to it, and they would squeeze their lemon, and it would turn it purple. And the kids were like, "Oh my God, this is so cool!"
Yeah.
So yeah,
Science.
it was totally science because they would get the cup and they get the lemon, and then I would tell the parents, or the servers would tell the parents, the child has to put the lemon in it, and they do it, and they're like, "Whoa." So it was really fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I figured you probably had some experience because the berry mint. I mean, I was thinking of right off the top of my head, gold medal winner. That's incorporating stuff you can grow on your porch garden if even if you only have the smallest amount of space at your disposal. Mint grows like a fucking weed.
It really does.
So that's a good easy one if somebody's like looking to start a little herb garden or something like that.
I kind of want to grow some butterfly pea.
Well, next season we're on that shit.
Oh my gosh, it's also called Asian pigeon wings.
Pigeon wings.
Yeah, Asian pigeon.
I did not know that. Wow.
That purple is very vibrant
Blue
too.
Bellvine.
Actually,
butterfly
Scott,
pea.
can you maybe pull up this Asian pigeon wings? Because seriously,
so cool.
You got to see this purple. It's really special. Really special. You want to see it?
I'm waiting to see it.
You're gonna wait to see it? You don't want to see it on the small screen?
Oh, and in India, revered as a holy flower.
Asian pigeon wings. Well, there it is.
See?
Yeah.
I knew.
Look
It's
at
so
that.
pretty.
That's a beautiful purple. And how did you get the drink picture to show up, honey?
I don't know.
It was just popping up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there was like on her search, she had like this purple drink that probably a picture of Eris's deliciousness.
That's crazy.
That's a very, very delicious looking flower. I would drink something that color.
Boy,
yeah, it's like all about the science too. It's like, how does it turn itself purple? Because the drink itself is not like until you add the acid to it, then it just colors.
Yeah,
it's the magic that gets unlocked with the science.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, so we wanted to remind everybody that we have Theory and Beats coming in season 2. This week, we're not going to do a new Theory and Beats because we'd like to highlight just real briefly AC's new stream, Sign of the Times. Sign of the Times is a new show on the Hope for Us network on Twitch. The next one is September 23rd, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time is when it streams live if you want to be part of that community. Scott, can you give everybody a little taste of the stunner you made for Theory and Beats? I really like that. It's like it's a stunner. Check that.
Oh my goodness.
Very cool.
That's cool as can be.
That was fun.
You like that? You like that?
That was pretty cool.
I thought your show was great, man, and that intro is awesome. And I misspoke. That was the intro for Sign of the Times. Scott made an intro for Theory and Beats that's really neat as well, but we'll save that for when we bring back the segment proper. Do you want to just show a quick video of the great guest you had, just like a little sample of the skating, and then we'll use the rest of the time to talk to Michelle.
Sure.
Scott, do you have one of those? Liz Hammond was the guest. Can you tell us a little bit about Liz Skate Chicago?
Liz Hammond at Skate Chicago. I had just seen her on TikTok a lot and thought her videos were pretty cool, and started following her, and it's amazing some of the things that she does on roller skates, and
those cameras.
she has managed to find almost every skate park in the state of Illinois. She's a digital marketer.
Whoa.
And so she's got these 360 cameras for work, and
360
she was like,
cameras, holy
I'm gonna
shit!
use these so I don't have to bug people as much. It's just easier. And so, yeah, that's her thing. And some of the views and the things that she does is pretty dope. So
These courses, dude.
yeah,
Wow.
pretty awesome.
Hell
So,
yeah.
it's good
So
to have-
I think they're like on a stick, right?
I
think they're on a stick and it like digitally edits out the stick. I think my
Wow.
friend uses one on his one wheel.
It's wild.
Yeah. And
How it gets all that different.
it's
Do you control that view?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
yeah.
yeah, I don't know if she explained it to me, but it was
Yeah, see in the shadow
yeah.
you can see the stick.
Oh
I
yeah.
just saw that. Yeah. Wow.
That's so trippy.
So check out Liz Skate Chicago, because really cool content, and also like trying to build a community where it's show up with your quads or your inlines or your skateboard. Let's hang out. Let's be happy together. Let's express ourselves this way. So
yeah.
pretty cool person. It was a great interview. You're really good at interviewing.
Oh, stop.
So well, you can watch that whole episode. It's rebroadcast on Twitch. You just go to where you are right now after the stream is done if you want to watch Sign of the Times from last Friday, or tune in live for his next one on the 23rd. Yeah, so we're pretty much bookending the weekend with the AC Sign of the Times on a Friday, and then tomorrow show on the Sunday every 2 weeks here on the Hope for Us Network. So
Yeah.
good job, dude. Proud of you.
Pretty awesome.
Your new song's great. Also, happy to be by AC. Quarantine Chronicles Volume 2 is coming out soon. I hear.
Yeah.
So you just like
You hear.
you're gonna tease us with just a little single for now, and that's awesome, man. Keep it up. Keep putting out that good stuff. So, Michelle, thanks for being with us on the show today. It's been so much fun. Let's get into talking about kind of how you got into what you're doing now as like this just powerhouse in Chicago, as far as restaurants, as far as cider, as far as transforming the community with more non-alcoholic options. How did you get into the Eris idea? How did this come about?
I think it just kind of came about when I was working with other companies before. I mean, I've had a long life of beer forever. And my parents owned a hotel and a restaurant when I was a kid. I started bussing tables and dishwashing at 13. I was a server by 14, and I was bartending in Wisconsin when I was 16. So
Damn.
it's kind of in my blood. You know, I went to college for hospitality, and I came out and I worked for Goose Island for 10 years. And really love the craft community, really love the people that were there, and the different types of beers that were being made, and the uniqueness and innovativeness of that industry, where usually it's these big giants making all of this alcohol or beer. And I was like, this is a smaller company. This is a family owned company. And it reminded me of my own home. So I did it for 10 years and then opened up another company, Revolution. And then I went back to Goose to do Virtue Cider, and I fell in love with cider. So the same kind of passion I had for beer turned into cider. And somebody once was like, you should open up your own place. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, that's just so much work. And they kept bothering me, and it happened, and we found Eris. So Eris just became a passion of cider, a passion of beer, but then also my love for restaurants and a patio. And I don't know, it didn't seem that much when I first started the whole process. So when people walk by, they look at Eris and like, holy shit, you guys did this? 2 women? And I'm like, yeah, 2 women that had a lot of people working around us. But yeah, we run the joint now. So it's kind of like a quick background story of how Eris became Eris. And she's the goddess of chaos. And chaos is my world and Katie's world and everyone's world. So it just fit.
And
Cool.
Katie's the co-founder?
She is. Katie Pizza is my co-founder.
Her last name is Pizza?
Oh, true story. I know everyone loves it. Yes, Pizza.
Cool.
That's perfect. I mean,
Yep. But we should have had a pizza joint. Like, we should have mimicked Peace. And it should have been like the pizza's joint, you know, or something like that. And we could have had beer and cider there too.
Y'all made the right choice with your food, though. Your food is so good.
Thank
What
you.
kind of informed your menu? Like, initially, like, was there some inspiration you all were drawing from with the chef, like when you first started?
Absolutely. When we first started, we wanted to be more of a gastropub, having really good food that people enjoy the flavor profiles of. Even though it's just a burger, we added, bacon jam. That was like the special ingredient on the burger itself. That, like, it's not just a burger with cheese and lettuce and tomato, right? So everything had a little element of lots of flavor going into it. Another thought was that we needed to appease. I wanted to see more vegans have a place that they can go to that allows them to bring their friends, or their friends to bring the vegans with them, so they don't have to eat before they go out. So we have some vegan items on the menu. We have gluten-free, because cider is gluten-free. My business partner has celiac. So with that being said, that's one of the best things that we've done at Eris, is putting gluten-free, is putting allergies as a number one concern for people, because a lot of times you can't gather with friends if you go to a certain place and they know they can't eat there. So I wanted a place that's all inclusive of all types of people, like and when it comes to food, especially, like, everything's there. And it's funny, most people tell you you don't have to be liked by everyone. And it's kind of the same story here. Everyone's like, well, why does your menu have to be for everyone? I'm like, because we have this large space and we have these tables that seat 12 people, and I want groups to come together. So we just did it as best as we could.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It gives me like this brasserie vibe too sometimes. Like, one of the first couple times I went there, I think I might have gotten mussels.
Oh yeah.
And it like transported me back to the only time I was lucky enough to be in Europe and go to Belgium and like have a big pot of mussels with like a Belgian beer in Belgium. Like, so having a cider in one of those big booths,
yeah,
with a bunch of delicious mussels, I was like, oh man, this is where it's at.
It's so funny. We finally brought the mussels back, so we're slowly getting back to our old groove of, afterlife of COVID. When you finally, with the world being so weird and food costs being crazy and finding things and can't find things and lack of this or that, we finally are trying to get back to a regular menu, which is going to be kind of fun for us.
Amazing.
Cool.
But I also think our space, like, really, it was a Masonic temple previously. And then that space that our main dining room is at used to have pews because it was a Korean church.
Yeah.
So that pew idea of all those pews being in there, that's where the booths kind of came from. We're like, well, we can make it look like a beer hall, but a cider hall. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we created those really large booths because of the the inspiration we got from the Korean church. At one point, they told us they were going to let us keep the pews. And luckily for us, they took care of it because it took us 3 years to open. And I would hate to have to be moving those pews in and out of the building like we did with
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Crazy.
that building is
That's cool.
110 years old or something like that. 105, something like that.
112, I think. 1910.
That's
Wow.
amazing. That's amazing. And structures like that in Chicago, it's important. I get kind of annoyed with development of big, shiny new buildings when there are so many that stand vacant in our city. It just sucks. And you guys found a place that was like historically relevant, and you repurposed it. You were given awards for it. That building just being what it is. Do you ever like get any vibes like haunted or anything like that? It's a big ass building.
So there is a very house divided in that building where there are some people that work there and they've worked there since day one that swear there are ghosts in that building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I shouldn't wish for that.
One of the ones that they talk a lot about is there is a shadow that comes out. I don't know what month it is, but it seems like it's the same time during the fall that the shadow shows up in our mezzanine. So our mezzanine used to be an office space for the Masons.
Okay.
We blew out a bunch of the bricks to create windows, in a sense, to look over the dining room.
Beautiful.
So with that being said, that was an office. There was only a staircase on the left-hand side of the building there, and that's how you got into that area. We terminated that staircase, put it behind the wall, and then opened a new staircase right onto the dining room.
Nice.
So this shadow will, and once again, I have not seen this, but this is what I've been told by a majority of my staff.
Okay.
There's a shadow that walks back and forth, and you can see that because the brick openings are there.
Uh-huh.
And it just shows up in the fall. It'll be there for like a month or two and then disappears.
That's awesome.
That's pretty neat.
Right. And my theory is that the shadow is remembering the Masonic temple, looking for the staircase, but can't find it.
Yeah.
And then going to the end, and its energy is telling it there is no staircase because it doesn't remember a staircase there. So it is just bouncing back and forth, not knowing it could go down the stairs and onto the main floor.
Dang, that's cool.
That's my theory.
That's a new little story that I learned, because I learned a bunch when we were on James's podcast, and like I learned about the Korean church and the Masonic temple, and I didn't know about the shadow though.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool. You guys have done comedy shows too in the mezzanine too, right?
What's that?
You've done like some events and comedy shows and stuff like that up there in that spot?
We have. Yes, we have.
Cool.
We had someone's sister just recently, like, bring out a big crowd, and I didn't even know she was going to be there.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we do it once a month.
Me and AC have gone to. We've gone together to go support my sister's shows before. She's hilarious. So it just makes sense. It's perfect that they would all connect like that. And plus, what a cool spot to see a show like that. Man. Yeah,
they bring up the curtains and everything. It's really intimate, and it's a really cool area, like, that people can just now like hang out there, and then they walk in, they're like looking at the our staircase and what we made it out of, and just, it's a neat space. 20-foot ceilings, 10-foot ceilings on each other floor, and it's just old. I like to call it vintage industrial.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about the sign on the top of the building? Was that like a huge undertaking? Do you remember like putting your sign on top of that building? Because you can see it from the highway for miles. It's just badass.
Yeah. So the theory of Eris was that we were going to create a rooftop area.
Oh, no shit. And
so that is the elevator shaft that we had to build so that our elevator can go all the way to the roof.
Whoa.
So that's the elevator shaft that you see there, and it was just concrete. It was ugly, and so we had to put siding all the way around it. And yes, it took us forever to get that logo up, but once we got it up, we're like, oh my God, that is the right thing to do. You know, like It is
Yeah.
the woman there, and then the apple and hop on the other sides.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someday, I mean, this is the theory. There's going to be a rooftop deck up there too.
That would be
Someday.
awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it's an undertaking. Yeah.
How many floors is it? The building
It's
itself?
4 stories. 4 stories there.
stories.
Whoa, there it is.
My
Yes.
word.
Nice.
That is beautiful.
That's the elevator shaft, though, in the center.
That is the elevator shaft. Correct. Yes. It goes all the way to the top.
Oh man.
Yeah, we've got the elevator shaft there.
Oh, so that's a really cool
nice.
article I actually have read because I nerd out about Eris and yeah, Scott, that's a great article. You would always share that in the chat if people are more interested in learning some of the deep tissue details about the building and about the awards it won and all that. So so cool. I love the symbolism. The woman, the apple, the hop. The handle that's got the sign of the chaos sign. It's like a compass basically with the arrow in all directions.
Yeah. So with the Eris logo is got as a chaos, right? So the chaos logo, we wanted when we first started Eris. I didn't want to be too feminine. I know that sounds really weird, but being in the beer industry for so long, it's been dominated by men. Like even the way men or other companies make cans. Like you've got someone like, and this is not a bad thing. This is a great thing. 3 Floyds. Everything's about demon and warlocks and, and blood and skeletons and stuff. And then Solemn Oath followed the same path. And just looking at that as a whole, I was like, well, maybe we should keep on that. Like that's what the chaos symbol is 8 pointed arrows, going this way or this way. And then you have bands, heavy metal bands that use chaos symbols all the time as part of their logos. Exactly. So, that's why I love the idea of Eris and chaos. But then my friend Hugo was at the bar at Fishman's because I used to work there, the old Fishman's, bless its heart, over in Jefferson Park. He drew Maleficent while I was bartending. And he gave it to me, and I said, this is so cool. It was the logo for Eris, except we took her horns off. We took all of the headdress that she had, and he was the one that created the apple with the hops in the middle holding it. We're like, oh my God. So we stripped that all down to kind of a little version of a goddess that has like the small braid that comes through, but her hair up in a bun. And we were just like, we fell in love with it. I'm like, well, we don't have to be very all the way male orientated, but it took me a long time to realize that it's okay to be feminine in this culture too, and both men and women will love it.
Yeah,
it's true. It's absolutely true. I love it, and like I know that there's a lot of empowerment as you kind of forge ahead into new territory every year.
I love her hand.
Yeah, she's it's kind of witchy. I like how witchy it is.
Strong. Yeah, that's what kept her strong, is that she is floating that apple above her fingers. Like she is the one in charge. So
dude. It's amazing.
We loved it. And then we did add the male aspect to it too. If you look at Eris, the letters, Google made those letters for me also, or for us also. And the E has half of the chaos arrows. So that's why you have those arrows there, because it's half of the chaos arrows. And very male-like Eris logo on the bottom. So if you separate the two, you could have really masculine, or you could have very feminine, and then you add them together, and you've got the combine of both, which is kind of what chaos is, a little bit of evil, good and evil, back and forth, yin and yang, so.
It's great.
Yeah.
It worked out for us.
It's like, make it metal, like Trevor at Old Irving, he would always be like, make it metal. And that's what I thought of when you said the chaos symbol and like, how a lot of metal bands use it. But yeah, you've struck such a cool balance, and your menu's inclusive, your spacing is inclusive, everything about it so cool. I know you've got some questions.
Why did you want to do cider, like a cidery?
I love cider. I think cider, when I got into working with Virtue Cider, I fell in love with the idea of tree, apple, press, substance, like that's your apple juice, and now you just throw yeast in it and it creates this beautiful product, and it's not messy, It wasn't too labor intensive. I like the way I feel when I drink cider compared to drinking beer. It's just, I don't know. I love it. I love the cider itself. I love our quality cider too. Previously when I worked with Goose or Revolution, I loved their product. I wouldn't have worked for somebody else if I didn't love the product. I could never do that. Because I've tried working for other people, and I've lasted 3 to 6 months, and I'm just like, my heart's not in this because I don't like what you're producing enough to put my reputation out there.
Yeah.
And Virtue cider was awesome. And Eris' cider is awesome. And just cider in general, I just like it. I don't know. I get really excited about it, and all I can say is I like it. There's so many different flavor profiles in cider too, and it just comes from the apple.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Like something about the apple, nature, all that jazz.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you how you source your apples, or like how do you choose that?
Sure. So we use dessert apples, and because we use dessert apples, I don't really source them or say that I can use, hey, can I please get 700 gallons of Newtown Pippin? And can I get 300 gallons of Macintosh apples? We're dessert apples, so we actually go and source it from a farm that's in Shelby, Michigan. It's called Peterson Farms, and they actually have orchards for eating apples, and they supply those apples to the grocery stores. And then through COVID, they've also been doing another sourcing of their apples, and that's for applesauce and apple slices for the Michigan elementary schools. So they're doing all this really cool stuff, yet they have these ugly apples. And so we get the ugly apples as juice, and then we make our product out of that.
Cool.
Yeah, so
amazing.
That's awesome.
It's not like we get to pick what apples we get, but where some places do get to do that, which is really awesome. And that's why cider is so unique, because you could do that with certain ciders. But we love the fact that Peterson's is an honest company. They're in Michigan, and they're really doing a lot for education purposes too, for the children, to be able to feed the children at the schools, the public schools, and things on that end too. So they're also guaranteeing getting a good source of vitamins from their food for lunch.
That's amazing. Michigan people coming together. This guy's cool. From Michigan as well.
AC, you're from Michigan?
Yep.
Whereabouts?
Okay, here's Mitch.
Yeah. I met him when he was living in Lansing.
Hold on, please.
It's all good.
No, you guys go ahead. I don't know what's going on. Put me on mute, please. Siri, talking, Siri hears me. So something I said got Siri to ask, I asked her about
It's his name. It does it to us too.
It thinks his name is...
It thinks, when we say AC, it sometimes will trigger our on our computer as well.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm not the only one.
No, you're all good.
No, I didn't even say
weird,
Mitch.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so Lansing is where he's from, and where in Michigan are you from?
So I'm a Wisconsinite. I am not Michigan.
Oh yeah, you're from Wisconsin. My bad.
But Katie, my business partner is from Michigan.
Yeah,
Katie's
you go.
from Michigan, but I am not. I'm Wisconsin.
But
apples
family
come from
farm and you, Michigan people. My bad. Yeah, that's amazing. Do you? I think you guys have additional questions for Michelle? I was just going to ask, because you touched on it briefly earlier. I think that you touched on something very special when you said that a lot of times our relationship with alcohol it's such a socialized thing in our community.
Yeah.
Like forever, it's been around. People have used it at gatherings and stuff like that to, help people kind of be more social and things like that. But it's created a lot of problems for other people too that maybe are prone to dependence, substance use, and overuse, misuse, and how that can kind of create like deeper lows and stuff like that. I think that's really something that doesn't get talked about as much as I would like it to when it comes to community mental health and how we like have this conversation and being real about those types of things. Is it from being in the industry that you're so insightful about that relationship and the problems that it can be associated with, or is this something that's just like more of a personal thing to you that you like are just passionate about sharing with others? Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I think it's a twofold. I think that, yes, because I've been in the industry, I've seen a lot of that and I participated. I would have to say that there was a little bit of time where I was like a functioning alcoholic. So I could drink all night long and wake up and be at work and actually work my whole entire 12-hour shift and then go right back up to the bar and do it all over again. And I could do that for weeks on end. Another part of it is because I think my dad was an alcoholic. And my tendencies, now that I'm older, I can understand what my father might have been going through and maybe the same mental illness that he had, I have. And like one of those was my grandmother told me a couple of years ago that my dad told her that the bar just calls his name. Like he would come home, he loved his children, he loved his wife, but the bar would call his name. And I think some of us call that like the feeling left out thing, or the FMLO, or what do they call that now?
FOMO. Yeah.
FOMO.
Fear of missing out. You're absolutely right.
Correct. So I think my father had that also, just at a bar. I don't know, but I know that I had that feeling when I was single and when I was working, because I always wanted life to happen. And if you're not in the element where life is happening, you're home. What's going to happen at home that's going to be spontaneous and out different and something on that end, right? So looking back at things that I didn't know back then, and I'm kind of realizing now, is that I might have had the same problem. I hated coming home. You know, I'd just rather be out amongst people. I also, when I come home, you know, now it's changed, but I used to come home and where people recharge their batteries, I didn't recharge. My battery was wasted on the couch, and sometimes I would get so low that I couldn't get off the couch. And that's the depression part that I hated. And so being able to go out, which is another form of like, yes, people are here, I'm talking to them, but then one alcohol, one drink, another drink. And then next thing you know, my tolerance is so high and I'm still going, but it just wasn't, there was an imbalance altogether.
Yeah.
So now that I'm a little bit older, now that, you know, I'm more stable in my mind and my body, and even, you know, with having a partner, my husband, I see the things that I did differently than everybody else. And I can't take that away from somebody, but I want to let them know that the path that they're choosing, I've been through. And if I can help in any little which way, then I want to be able to do that. And I see that a lot in our industry.
Yeah. It's easy to avoid feeling lousy by putting stuff on top of it, like booze or drugs or you know, being promiscuous and any high risk behavior of any sort, I guess, you know, but sometimes like you're just creating like a heavier burden to carry by not sorting through it and dragging it forward with you.
I think our society too, like, has generally people have a hard time sitting in feelings, like feeling a thing and just thinking like I am sad or I'm mad or I'm happy. They like avoid feeling it. Yeah. And so they do, you know, they do it, they stay busy. They become a workaholic. They use substances. Whatever it might be. Yeah.
The coping skills we choose are sometimes out pure survival, right? So if no one's talking about this shit and you don't have any guidance, it's really easy to fill in those coping skills with stuff that's like has potential for harming you in the long run, like any of those questionable choices with like what you're putting in your body, or like how much of it, or how much you're avoiding the shit you got to deal with. I think a lot of what we're seeing nowadays with like dry bars, even like being a thing that are happening, it's a cool byproduct of talking more and more openly, normalizing mental health discussions. But what's really wild to me still is diagnoses like alcoholism, while they've come a long way, as far as people kind of respecting and understanding that addiction is part of this mental health conversation, and that you can get addicted to things that are not substances as well. That
television shows.
Yeah, I mean, like there's tons of things and tons of ways that our addictive behaviors can create, like maladaptive coping skills for sure. But what I think is really
part that you're talking about, Mike, the workaholic, that was another thing that I was, because once again, I didn't want to go home. There was nobody home.
Right here as well. Right here,
So being at work, and that's something that I'm learning to balance even with my husband now. Like, he's home, so I want to be home. But sometimes I get that drive that I have to finish something off at work, even though I don't really need to be there, but I definitely feel, I don't know, it's like a physical and mental thing. So yeah, I totally understand where that comes from too, because I've been doing it for so long. That's like taking that drink away from me is by someone telling me to go home. I don't need you here. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So that's that. Yeah. That's how I see that feeling.
No,
so I'm working on it. So one thing at a time. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I think that's the authenticity that you bring to a conversation like that, though, because so many times people are like, oh, I had this experience and now I'm working through it and now I'm in a good place and I'm always going to be in a good place. Yeah. That's not reality. I struggle like in waves, and like the important thing is to remember that it's temporary. Like the happiness is also temporary. Sometimes like I'm really cruising along, feeling really good, and then something will happen and I'm feeling kind of lousy again. Just reminding ourselves to give ourselves the opportunity of tomorrow. Like today, I tried the things that usually help life not suck, and they're not working today. So I'm going to hit the couch and I'm just going to sit in that suck, and I'm going to ride it out, and tomorrow will hopefully be better. That's really the point of this whole show. And the one thing that I wanted to really underline before we're out of time today is that diagnoses, be it alcoholism, depression, bipolar, whatever, they are helpful to a point. They are helpful in that they give you a name for something and they give you symptoms to be aware of, and they help you educate yourself so you can be healthy, just like somebody that has diabetes or somebody that has high blood pressure or any number of other ailments that they have to.
Yeah, they might make you feel
navigate.
Less alone.
Yeah.
There's things about
those things are important, and those things help a great deal destigmatizing. Like, yes, I live with bipolar. I'm not the only one that lives with it because it's a diagnosis. It's a medical thing. But I also hate diagnoses. I also think you can learn about your individual experience, and then you can throw that shit out, because it's not like a label that you don't have to be in a category. Because first of all, you're going to experience the symptoms of whatever you're dealing with in a very unique, personal way. And trying to, apply other people's experiences all the time on the internet can be far too simple and can lack nuance. So if you're out there on Twitch, if you're out there on TikTok, if you're out there on any of the socials, and you're finding connection and information about mental illness and mental health through those platforms, I just want to encourage you all to dig deeper too, and to remember that there is just so much nuance to it. And that, like, if you are somebody that has a lot of shame associated with the diagnosis you've been given, that's okay. And there are other people that find it as a talisman, that like, yeah, it's a trade-off. I have some superpowers, but there's some negative shit that comes with it. And I just want to just say that, because like, I think the points you made about alcoholism in the industry and just in general, our relationship with the things that help us feel good, people can develop and be more conscious of their relationship with alcohol if they are someone who drinks, and start that conversation for themselves, because it's a personal one to have and an important one at that. So. Yeah. But that's really all I got to say about that.
Yeah. I also think like there are more and more people who aren't drinking for not mental health reasons. Like, it might be another health reason. It might just be because it makes them feel crappy. It might just be because they want to take a break. Like, there's that's happening more and more. So like sometimes it's not even that they can't be around alcohol or something, and it's just just what they do. So
everybody out there, be more like Michelle and make sure you have options for people in your community, and make them feel welcome, because it's really a shitty thing to be like, oh, I don't drink, and then ask, well, why? Or just like check yourself on that and be a little more aware, so that you're just like a more welcoming, supportive member of your community, and not treating people like problems, but treating people like people is going to help everybody that you interact with. Small ways matter. So anything else you guys wanted to say before we wrap up the stream? Season 2, episode 1.
I'm gonna have to.
And his name is John C.
AC was like, you missed this opportunity for a Stone Cold Steve Austin when I said stunner earlier.
You said stunner earlier.
I said stunner earlier.
I thought for
and
sure
we were
I was
like,
going to see like some Austin beer smashing.
But that's a great reminder that this is Michelle Foik, Eris Brewing and Cider House, and in partnership with the Hope for Us Network. Lots of cool shit happening in this fall. So
exciting.
26th, get your tickets for Bring On Tomorrow for the panel. Come join us. It'll be a really, really special night. 5:30 Central Standard Time. And then, of course, get your tickets for Champions of Hope. Come see some wrestlers. Normalize mental health. Yeah, and we're going to just celebrate life, and it's going to be really great. That's at the Logan Auditorium, October 28th. It's a Friday. It's going to be amazing. So, Michelle, we can't thank you enough for your time today. And just
thank you so much. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
This has been the Tomorrow Show. Tomorrow Show every other Sunday starting today, season 2. So we'll be back on the 25th. We're going to have our special guest, Laura Louise Green, another really special person in the hospitality world, starting pretty important conversations with the Healthy Poor Institute. So please tune into that. And everybody have an excellent Sunday fun day. Take care of yourself. Love y'all.
Bye.
Kill the stream, Scott. Kill the stream.